Okay, everyone, let me know you can hear me and that you see the screen. We're going to get started. Okay, that's a good thing. So the first thing is I uploaded two files into the handout. Does everybody see them? Okay, there's two files. One of them, one of the action steps was enter a breakout trade into the software, and you need a DMM to do it. So the University of Michigan is the breakout, okay? So you can practice entering a trade with that handout. And then retail is a trap trade. And when we're done, you'll get to practice entering with that one, okay? So just so you have them. So I want to welcome everybody, day 6 of the challenge. Today we're going to work on the trap trade. And I want to know who else is having problems. Andy, just sit tight, and you're going to see us set up trades many, many times. So it'll take a little time. Make sure you're using a 1 minute chart. Make sure you're using a 1 minute chart. And there is audio, right? Everybody can hear me with no problem. Okay. So who else? Tell me everybody that's having problems so I can address it and we can discuss it a little bit. Let me know if you're having a problem. Let me type to John. John says he has no audio. If you ever have audio problems, and obviously everyone else's audio is working, log in and out, log in and out, then you should be okay. I think we all have a problem with our age, Larry. There's no doubt about that. That is the truth. Okay, so I'm seeing not too many problems. That's a good thing. Not too many problems. That's a good thing. Okay. So today we're going to work on the trap trade. All right. We're day 6 and it's called the trap trade. So what is a trap trade? So a trap trade is a special type of a reversal trade. And, as you go along learning to do anything, one of the keys to doing it well is learning to recognize when something occurs and it occurs over and over, and you want to be able to recognize market behavior, right? If you can recognize market behavior and the way that an event behaves, then what it means is the event becomes more predictable, okay? So if you can recognize market behavior, an event becomes more predictable. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to show you what the market looked like for an Australia bank rate statement, okay? And don't worry about how I'm doing it. I'm going to teach this, but I'm not teaching replay today. So I'm using the playback replay engine in NinjaTrader, but trust me, we're going to have a lot of time on this. It's just not today. I'm just using it just to show you something. That's all. And I could have recorded it, I suppose, but I didn't, so it's okay. So I'm just going to a certain time of the day, and I want you to look at market behavior. So because it demonstrates what a trap trade can look like. So watch the candle, okay? You want to watch the candle. And take a second. All I'm demonstrating, like I said, is market behavior. Okay, this should do it. So watch over here. It's going to create a wick if it does it the way that I expect. Okay, let me speed it up a little bit. If it does it the way I'm expecting it to, you're going to see the price go up really fast, really fast. Oh, and I'm losing my mind. Hang on, folks. Hang on, hang on, hang on. It's PM. PM, PM, PM. And it's not the fact that it's PM that matters. It's the fact what the behavior looks like. So watch this candle. Here we go. Look at what it did. It created that crazy, crazy wick. And then it, before you could even see it with your eye, it had already pulled back down. That is the kind of market that might very well really be good for a trap trade. Okay? Watch it again. A market that goes up so fast and then comes back down immediately. That's a perfect trap trade. A market that goes up and comes down in a minute could still be a trap trade. Okay, let me show you a couple. I'm going to show you a couple of them. And then I'm going to define the trap trade a little bit better. So this is a recording of a recent WASD trade. It's a grain report. Okay. Now, we're trading and looking at two different instruments. Soybeans on the right. We're actually trading corn on the left. We have a setup for both. Some members trade soys and some members trade corn. Corn is a trap trade, okay? So when a trap trade gets ready to go, like right now it's ready to go, the X's are our orders, okay? The software puts the orders on the chart. A trap trade, if you trade two contracts, will use double the amount of orders that a breakout trade uses. So you have two orders above the current price, two orders below. The current price is this orange arrow, okay? That's the current price. So I've got two orders above, two orders below, and my stop, okay? When the market moves, if it goes up, because remember, a trap trade is a type of a reversal trade. If the market goes up, we're going to sell the market. We're going to go short. If the market goes down, we're going to buy the market. We're going to go long. That's the idea of a trap trade. We've done a lot of research and we have reports that don't always go just in one direction. So watch what happens. It goes up. It fills two orders short. And now as it's going down, we're making our profit. So it's not a breakout. It's a reversal, okay? That trade only took about 20 seconds, and we made over $800 on that trade. Watch it again. So the software, it puts our orders on the chart, and we tell it when, how soon Do we put the orders on before the news comes out? We tell it that, okay? So it puts two orders above, they're going to sell the market. Two orders below, they're going to buy the market. And then we don't know if it's going to go up or down. We don't care. If it goes down, we're going to buy. And then we're going to make our money when it changes direction. Watch. In this case, the market went up. So we sold the market. It went through two of our orders, and we call those orders tiers. We call those orders tiers. Okay? So it went through our tiers, and we got in short. And as it's going down, we're making money on the trade. And we exited and made quite a nice trade, more than 800 on that trade. I'll show you another trap trade. Um, a breakout will sometimes work on a trap trade. Sometimes both setups will work. We're always trying to find the setup that'll offer the best profit. Sometimes a report will look like the trap trade, the breakout worked, but it might be bad liquidity. Trap trades are great when the liquidity's lousy, because when you make that change in direction, you have a really good chance of getting filled. Also, when you're trading against the way the market's going, when you're going long, when the market's going down, we get better fills, no slippage. So trap trades are really good if they're appropriate, if a market has bad liquidity or lousy volume, okay? So it's not a traditional reversal trade, which we'll go over those also. It's a specialized, we call it a specialized reversal trade. Let me show you another one. The Bank of Canada, which is also coming up this week, is a very popular trap trade. So this was September. There's our orders, two tiers above the current price. If it goes that way, we're going to sell. Two orders below the current price. If it goes down, we're going to buy. Now, I don't remember this particular trade, so we'll see what it does. It shoots up, and it won't always fill both orders. Okay, and that's perfectly okay. It only filled one order, and we made almost $175 on that trade. Okay, watch it again. It doesn't have to fill both orders. As long as it fills one, you're still going to expect a reversal. And I'll explain something about what you can do if it only fills one. So that trade worked very nicely. And let's look at another one. Carlo, you always move your target in a trap trade because, I mean, you don't have to, but you may not hit those targets because they're far. The opposite orders become your targets in a trap trade. The opposite orders that didn't get filled because you went in the other direction, those become your targets. So watch what I mean. This was U.S. retail news, a great trap trade. So the orders, again, two orders above, two orders below the current price. And the price moves, It goes down and it immediately changes direction. It only filled one tier, but it's already reversing and there's a big profit. So you're not going to hang around waiting for the other order to fill. You're going to figure out how to take your profit. And that's what we did. So that was another quick trap trade. And it only filled one order. That will happen. That will happen. Our orders are not limit orders. Juan, we never use limit orders. Never, never, never. If you use limit orders in fast moving markets, you will miss all your trades. It'll jump over the orders. We don't use limit orders. Slow moving trades, you can try using limit orders, but not orders that you expect to move with good speed. You don't want to hit close unless you have to. Hitting close is the worst way to exit a trade because the broker will give you the worst fill, okay? Ideally, you want to get out of a trade by having the trade hit your targets. That's the best way. Close is when something's happening quickly and you just don't really have a choice. And it happens. It happens, but it will cost you profits. It will cost you profits. Do not get in the habit of hitting the close button, but be able to do it when you need to. That's the best way to deal with the close button. But you can hit it, Andy, if that's what you're asking. You can hit it and get out of a trade, but don't make a habit of it. If you can manage your trade better so that your targets get you out of the trade, you'll do much better, much, much better. One more really good trap trade, WASD, and that's coming up next week. This week, sorry, Thursday. Two orders above the current price right here, two tiers below. The news comes out. And it goes up and hits both tiers, reverses, and bingo. Okay, another nice profit. I think I showed that one. So I think we showed WASD, we showed retail, and University of Canada. Let me show one more retail. This was a monster trade. Brackets are one cancel the other orders. One cancel the other. They are not limits. Brackets are not limits. This is real trade room video. This was a retail trap trade. Right chart today. Right chart on this trade. Let's watch it a little more slowly here. So the orders are there. The price looks like it's going down. Okay, price goes down. We buy the market, and then it immediately starts going up. And it goes up really big. Just one contract would have been over $1,000 on that trade. That would have been over $1,000 on that trade. Andy, everything we do is the same. What criteria do we use? We look for a trade that reverses and then we test it to see how far does it reverse, how many ticks. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're looking for events that reverse regularly and then we measure the number of ticks. Okay? And if it's manageable in terms of speed of the market for that event, we'll use a trap trade if it reverses often. If it doesn't reverse, then it's probably more appropriate for a breakout trade. Okay? But it's all about the testing that we do. Everything that we do is just based on revisiting events over and over to see how they move. Okay? That's the absolute nature of what we do. Always revisiting, revisiting, revisiting. Now, I think what I'm going to do is let me download a piece of data real quick. Only takes a second. And I'll show you a lot of the ins and outs of a trap trade. All right. I'm going to download two different things because you can't just randomly pick a moment in time to do a trap trade. The market may not be cooperating right now, right? We want an event. I want an event. So I'm going to download it. It'll take 1 second. I probably already have it downloaded, but I'll just double check. So we'll practice on a retail trade and we'll practice on a WASD, okay? And I promise I'm going to go over market replay. I'm just not today. I don't want to get you so confused that you have no idea what's going on, okay? So bear with me just for a moment. I think we'll use, so we're going to look at gold and we're going to look at corn, okay? We'll look at gold and we'll look at corn. Okay, so I'm going to just put my charts on gold and we're on replay, so we are living in a different time. We're on a different day. The day that we're on, we're back in October, all right? We're October 14th. Should be good. So we're going to practice. I'm going to show you the trap trade, October 14th. And the time of day is 8:30 in the morning, okay? So I'm going to test the market. We'll make sure everything's working. And it'll take 1 more second. We'll be cooking with gas here. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're looking good. Okay. So on this day in October, we came into the trade room. We've been doing our research, and we know that the U.S. retail report is a trap trade, all right? We know it. So that's a given. That's a given, all right? So we come into the trade room with a daily market mover for this report. And it looks like this, okay? Now remember, if you look at the top over here, that's the instrument that we're going to trade, okay? So if you come into the trade room that day, we're trading GC 1222. So that's what my chart is on. Obviously, this is retail sales right here, retail. The time, 8:30 Eastern time, okay? And the yellow line helps with the setup, okay? That helps to explain the setup. Now, a trap trade, you bring a trap trade, a crap trade, you bring a trap trade onto the chart Just like you bring a breakout trade onto the chart, right? You right click your chart, click on strategies. Now you're going to double click on trap trade, right? Not on JOBB V10, trap trade. And there's a lot less inputs, very little to do to set the trade up, okay? Bracket center is a default. You don't do anything with it, just leave it. Average price bars, default. You don't do anything with it. Position size 1. How many contracts are you going to trade at position 1? 1, okay? Position size 2. How many contracts are you going to trade at position 2? 1 also. So that means we have a 2 contract trade, okay? 2 contract trade. Stop loss position default is last fill price. It stays there. You never change it. Never. Stop loss. Yellow line. Stop is 18. Type in 18. Okay? Cancel after X seconds. Remember what we talked about with cancel? I don't like to cancel trades. Automatic canceling of trades, it really is a throwback to pre-pandemic. Since the pandemic, news results are taking longer sometimes. I'd rather wait. If you insist on canceling, I promise you, you'll miss a lot of good trades. You'll miss a lot of good trades. But if you're the kind of person that, it's there, you got to do it. So make most of your cancels. Most of your cancels, make them at least 30 seconds. Okay? If you have to do it, make most of your cancels 30 seconds. Okay? I don't do it. You'll never see me cancel a trade automatically. I'll cancel plenty of trades, but I'm not going to do it inside the software. So now, we have a tradition at our company. See where it says Tier 1 and Tier 2? Tier 1, Tier 2. It has a range instead of being an exact number. So it means that the tier, the bracket could be 16, 17, or 18 for Tier 1, and it could be 25 to 30 for Tier 2. It's just the nature of a trap trade. It's more flexible than a breakout. So your orders, they can be a little more flexible. It's just the nature of the trade. In the trade room, I usually have an idea exactly how I want to do it, but absolutely you can use the range. It's okay. So let's say for this trade, I'm going to use 16 for Tier 1 and 30 for Tier 2. Now, what time is the retail trade event? 8:30. That's when the news gets released. So that's the time of the event, 8:30. Don't forget 24-hour time. If it was 8:30 at night, it would be what? 21:30, right? 22:30? 22:30. It was 8:30. Whatever rate is, okay? I can't figure it out this early. But it's 24-hour time in the evening. In the morning, we just put 8:30. In the evening, use 24-hour time. 20:30, thank you. 20:30, plus 12 hours, thank you. 20:30. Activation time preparation seconds. We're going to change this because it's making something so simple confusing. Theoretically, if you read this activation, it means 8:29:40. Okay? 8:29:40. That means you're going to put your orders on the chart 20 seconds before the news comes out, 20 seconds before 8:30. So you'd put a 20 in here. Okay? I just want to tell my boss to change the reports. Just put a 10 in there or a 20 in there. It'll be a lot easier. All right? But that's how you read it. Figure out what the time is, and then as many seconds as you are away from the start of the event, that's the number. And what that number means is 20 seconds before the event, our orders will show up on the chart. I usually use 5 or 10 seconds, okay? I usually use 5 or 10 seconds in these volatile markets. That's what I use. Tom, everything is recorded. Absolutely. Everything. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 seconds before 8:30. That's when our orders are going to show up. Account warnings are disabled. I don't want to be distracted and have the software ask me, do you want to trade live? If I'm trading live, I'm trading live. But for beginners, it's not bad to get a warning. Are you trading live? Are you trading live? It's a good thing. Now, the only other thing you have to change is if you're trading sim, put your account on sim, okay? We're on playback right now because we're demonstrating. If you're on live, put your account on live, okay? And if you like labeling your trades with the label input, you could label your trade, okay? It's retail, so I call it retail. So then apply it, okay it, all right? You can always check your input series to make sure your chart matches the input series. 99 times out of 100, it will automatically. The chart will match the input series. Apply it, okay it, and then your trap trade, your setup, shows up on the NinjaTrader control panel. So now I'm going to enable the trade. Your icon logo comes up if your software is activated. And I'm going to press, in this case, because I'm replaying, I'm going to press play, but make believe we're in a live market. It's coming into 8:30. We're a couple of seconds away. 5 seconds from 8:30, our orders will show up. Now, sometimes if your charts aren't spread well or they're not spread apart, what if your charts are too spread apart? Don't panic if you can't see your orders, right? Hold down your left mouse button and just shrink your charts, okay? If you hold down the control button, you can slide up and down. If you just hold the left mouse button and hold it down, price moves up and down, okay? If you hold down control and the mouse button, the whole thing moves up and down, okay? So 5 seconds before the news comes out, our orders come on the chart. Now look up here. Look at the very top, NinjaTrader. We have these buttons, right? And the breakout trade has buttons also, all right? And we'll go over it, I promise. Remember, folks, we got 2 more weeks. You're going to be so sick of me, so sick of hearing about breakout trades. You're going to be an expert. Look at the buttons. The first button is BE, break even. Not an important button in the trap trade, not as important as it is in the breakout trade. But it means break even. If you're in a profitable trade and you press the break even button, it'll move your stop automatically to break even. Usually break even plus 1 tick. Okay? It's real handy. There will be times you will do that. There's a close button. What if everything goes haywire and you don't know what you're doing and you're out of control? The trade didn't even start yet. You're just totally confused. You don't want to trade. Hit the close. Trade canceled. Isn't that great? You could do it up here too. Uncheck. All right. So now I got to start over. I got to wind up time. Just because we're going to go back, I want to explain the buttons to you. Okay. Now, we also have a button called adjust. Now, there's a lot of smart people in this room. All right. I know that that's true. I know that that's true. And there's a lot of smart people that understand support and resistance. All right. Support is below the current price. Resistance, you're pushing into resistance. It's above the current price. So, what might be good support? What might be good support? Support might be a place where price will get pulled into and it'll hang around there. You know what might be good support? A low of the day. And good resistance might be a high of the day. So years ago when we did the trap trade, we used to look and see if our orders were sitting very close to support and resistance. And if they were, you could press the adjust button up here, and it would try to give you a slightly better fill. We don't use it very much anymore because the markets are so much more volatile than the old days that we used to put on a trap trade. But I just want you to know what it means. It'll move our orders. Okay? See how it moved them? And usually it'll try to move them in a direction a couple of ticks above and below the current price. But I don't want anybody to worry about it right now. We don't use the feature because the markets just are moving too fast most of the time. You don't have time to do it. So it's there. One day, if we start using it again, we'll get into it more seriously. Now, the cancel button is important. Cancel is important. Remember how we saw, folks, give me a second. I have an emergency I have to take. Okay. Sorry, folks. Um, I'm not all you know this probably. I got hit by a car like 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, riding my motorcycle. And I was really badly hurt. And I have some things that I got to talk to the doctor. So that's the deal. I just want you to know I'm not a slacker. All right. Okay. So what we were saying, we're not going to use the adjust button. It's just not necessary. And what's going to happen? We have this cancel button though. That's another button that's available when you enable the trap trade. If one tier gets filled and the second tier does not get filled, if you're in profit and you feel that that second tier it's not any longer in play, then you can cancel the tier. It's cancel the outer tier. If you forget to cancel it, it doesn't matter. Our software prevents the order from getting filled at the wrong time, okay? But watch this trade. So this is a real trade. It's going to take place. Now, my phone may ring again. I will have to take another call if it rings. But no matter what, I will be here, and I'll be back. So things are going a little bit slowly. Let me, because I'm in the wrong place, so hang on. Let me go back to the right time, 8:29. It's an 8:30 event. Okay, so let's do it again, just so it's, I want to show you perfectly. So the retail report, it's getting ready to take place. It filled one tier. Now, what if you're sure it's now going in profit, the other tier is still there, you can cancel it just to simplify the trade, okay? Just to simplify the trade. All right? Now, ideally, I would rather move my target into the exit, right? I'd rather. But sometimes a trap trade, it'll reverse multiple times, right? And you might want to, even though we don't like doing it, you can always exit the trade hitting the close button. You only want to hit that close button if you think you can't get a good exit properly, okay? If you can't get a good exit properly, that's when you hit the close button. All right? Let me show you that in real time. So we're going to look at that retail trade again. 5 seconds before 8:30, our orders go on the chart. Now, one tier got filled. There's one left. I know it's not going to probably get filled. I'm canceling it. And now I would even try to protect profit. Maybe I'll move my stop, right? Look, it reversed and I'm in negative now. I'm in negative, okay? Because it's a rapidly moving trade. Trap trades, sometimes you want to be a little patient also. I could move my target down, right? You could. I could move my stop up to protect profit. I can manually trail my stop, move it up as the price goes up. You can see on Ninja, right? Green one means your long one contract, price going up is giving you your profit. And it's now really working in our favor. You could expand your target if you want to, okay? That's how the trap trade works. That's the trap trade. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show again. We'll show it from entering it, okay? How do you enter it? So you enter a trap trade. Let me just put the time back. So we right-click the chart, click on strategies, double-click on trap trade, and it'll show up down here. Then you get your DMM, right? You get your DMM. The trade you're trading that day, right? Whatever it is. Let me get my DMM. I made a mess of that DMM. And now we're going to look, we know what instrument we're going to trade. We know it's retail news. We know the time, right? And then the yellow line is our setup. All right. So we're going to look at the strategy. Bracket center stays nothing. Average price bars, we don't change. Position size 1 is how many contracts we're trading for bracket 1. Position size 2, how many positions we're trading for bracket 2, tier 2. All right. Wait for spike is default. You don't do anything with it. Stop loss position, last fill, don't do anything with it. The stop is 18. Okay. Tier 1 is between 16 and 18. I usually like to use the lower number so I get a fill. And then I like to use the higher number on the second order. So in this case, I'm going to do 16 and 30. Hey, what time is this event? What time is the event? Retail is 8:30. All right. And then what time are we going to activate our orders? Right under time of event, I'm going to look at the activate. And if I read the time, it says 8:29:40. The trade's at 8:30. That's 20 seconds before the news comes out. So in theory, you could activate 20 seconds early. I like 5 to 10 seconds in these very volatile markets. Okay? That's what I like. But 20, we use 20 a lot, so that's why it is 20. Let's put it on 20. The reason, leaving your orders on a chart 20 seconds before a possibly volatile event, you might get filled early. I'd rather not get filled before the trade. You can, in a trap trade, get filled before the trade. It's not as bad as getting filled before a breakout trade because there's a good possibility that trap trade's going to do a moderate amount of reversing. And you may not always get hurt if you get filled early. I'd rather not get filled early ever, but I'd rather get filled early in a trap trade than a breakout trade. All right, so not a lot to set up. Then you're going to look down, make sure your account is on the account you're trading, sim or live or playback. You can label the trade if you want to. Account warnings, I turn them off. So if I'm trading live, it doesn't bother me by asking me, are you trading live? And then I apply and OK. And then my trade setup shows up on the NinjaTrader control panel. Make sure your tab over here is on strategies or you won't see your setup, okay? Make sure your tab is on strategies or you won't see your setup. So now I'm going to enable the trade and you're going to wait for 8:30, right? So let's make believe it's 8:30. There's our orders, a couple of seconds before the news. Everything's nice and spaced. The news comes out. The price moves. It's going to fill us, right? At some point. Look at the difference the 20 seconds made. It changes the whole trade. I like 5 seconds. I think it's better. But either way, it filled one tier. I use the rule, if I can get my stop into safety, then I'll cancel the extra tier. And I can get my stop into safety, I cancel the tier, move my stop into safety. I might even extend my target if it's a great trade and it's really looking like it's moving. Once your stop is above your entry, you're safe. and you have a winning trade. Now I could just trail my stop as price keeps going up, right? Make more and more money. Keep extending your target. Hold down the left mouse button and you can drag your targets. Okay, and then it changes direction and we get out with a profit. Okay. Caesar, it is what it is. The terminology is what it is. Eventually, maybe it'll change, but nothing I can do about it right now. Putting in the DMM must be the day. You want to do it the day, or you're going to trade the wrong day when there's not a trap trade going on, right, Kevin? There is a way to put trades in 3 days from now. But again, we're not doing everything the software can do right now because we can't cover it all in 21 days. So you get your setup a day before the event. You put your setup in, right before you're getting ready to trade. That's the normal way to do it. Okay? But we do have settings in our software for trading unattended. But there's a lot of risk to trading unattended, and it only works on the breakout. It's not for the trap. So for the trap trade, you're putting in your trades the day of, always the day of. Okay. All right. Who's got a question? Who's got a question? Who's got a question? So remember, I uploaded into the handouts, right? In the handouts of the webinar, you have 2 practice DMMs. One for retail, so you could practice putting in a trap trade in your software, right? And one University of Michigan, so you could practice putting in a breakout trade in your software, okay? So Lucy asks, I hit the cancel button to cancel the tier that did not get filled. And that does not cancel the entire trade? Correct. It just cancels the outer tier, the tier that didn't get filled, okay? That's all it does. The close button, that will cancel the trade. But you don't want to cancel a trade if you've already been filled, right? That'll remove your stops and targets and it'll screw up your whole trade. So don't ever cancel a trade. Don't ever cancel a trade when you're in it. Kevin, that means that particular trade would be 5:30 in the morning California time. You're absolutely right. That's correct. Yes. Some trades, some events are really worth trading and they're worth getting up for, right? Some events aren't worth getting up for and you don't want to get up for them. That's just the way it is, all right? And that's what trading on a schedule means. You all want me to show you the whole thing one more time? You want me to show you the whole process one more time? I'm happy to do it. Anybody? Do you want to see the whole thing one more time? Yeah? All right. So I'm going to remove my trade. If you want to remove a trade setup, right-click the trade setup and just click remove. And it's gone. Okay? So now you just make believe you just got up, you're getting ready to trade retail news, you got your DMM all ready to go. Right click the chart, click on strategy, double click trap trade. It shows up down here. And now I can change my settings, right? Bracket center, leave it alone, default. Average price bar, leave it alone, default. Position size 1, that's tier 1. We're going to use one contract, so that's a 1. Position size 2, that's going to be tier 2, one contract, so that's a 1. Wait for spike, that's a default. Don't do anything. Stop loss, position, last fill price, that's default. Don't do anything to it. But our stop loss is 18. So make the stop loss 18. I don't cancel, right? I don't like to cancel the trade automatically. Tier 1 is, I'm going to use 16. It's between 16 and 18. 16 ticks from the current price is what that means. That's where the order is going to be. Tier 2, I'm going to use 30 ticks from the current price. And then the time of the event is 8:30. That's when retail news comes out, 8:30. So we type in time of the event. And then remember the activation time. We check the activate. And if we get it updated and it just says 5, then you just put a 5 in activation prep, okay? Otherwise, if you look at that time, it means 8:29:40. That's 20 seconds before the news comes out. So you would put a 20 in there. 20 seconds before the news comes out, our orders are going to show up on the chart. I like 5 seconds. It's a pretty volatile market these days. I just like 5 seconds. I don't want my orders sitting on charts for an hour. 20 seconds, it's too long. And then I turn off my account warnings. Check your input series to make sure it matches the chart that you're trading on. Or trading gold, the input series should be the same. You can label the setup whatever you want, okay? Make sure your account is live, playback, sim, whichever it is, and then hit apply and okay. Get rid of your DMM, and your trade setup is on the control panel. Whoops, it's on the control panel. And I'm going to enable it. 8:30 is coming up. I'm ready to go. Put your charts on live or sim, okay, by choosing the chart. Enable the trade. And now the market is moving as if it's real. Okay, don't forget, you've got your buttons. Break even, close the trade, adjust, we don't use, cancel the outer tier. And combine is not so important on a trap trade because you usually won't have 2 orders on the chart that are live. The combine button, if you've got 2 orders on the chart at different places and you want to make them one order, put them both at the same place. That's what the combine button does. But for most times in a trap trade, you're not going to use it because a tier is going to get filled and you won't have 2 orders to combine. So we get our orders on the chart, the market's moving, it goes down, it fills our first tier, and it's going into profit pretty big. cancel the outer tier. Okay, I canceled my outer tier. Now I'm just waiting. I might want to shrink my target a little bit. It's pretty far from the current price. When I get the chance, I usually like to move my stop above the break even, above entry. So no matter what, I have a winning trade. Bingo, hits my target, 19 ticks, and I'm out with a profit. A full, complete trap trade from beginning to end. All right? So we like trap trades if we think the market might reverse in a reliable way on a particular news event. Okay? That's how we come up with trap trades. And we come up with it by studying the market. All right? By studying the market. So, Kevon, I'll have to get rid of one of those IDs, one of the other IDs, but that's fine. No problem. Who's got a question? That's what we're covering today, the trap trade. The action step is to practice entering in, right? Enter a trap trade into your software. If you'd be kind enough, take a screenshot that you did it. We love if if you get involved. We want you to be involved. We hope everybody's enjoying themselves. I hope you're having a good time. I really do. Everybody having a good time? I mean, look, it's educational. It's work. It's work. If you put the time in, you'll do really well. If you put the time in, you'll learn so much. You'll learn so much. That's the truth. You really will. I just can't tell you how much you're going to learn. And look, not everybody is going to ultimately like to trade this way. You know? Not everybody. But most of you will like it. That's the truth. Most of you are going to like it. Michael, I'm not sure what you're asking me. The notes on the two trap trade setups are on Facebook. No, they're here in the handout. One's a trap trade, one's a breakout trade. Right, Lucy, sometimes we get up early, we make money, we go back to bed. Hey, look, sometimes we lose money and go back to bed crying in a corner. Sometimes, it's never 100%, but it's so great to get up early, take a trade, go back to bed, wake up with a profit, right? It's really nice. Happens a lot. It happens a lot. All right. James has been getting up early anyway. So, any other questions, folks? This was very straight ahead. The action step, the handout is here. Okay, I'll probably post them on Facebook with the recording. Okay, I'll post the DMMs on Facebook with the recording. All right, everybody. So if you're a trade room member, there is a trade room at 4 p.m. today. Okay. If you signed up for trade rooms, we do have a trade room at 4 p.m. Okay? So I will see everybody either at 4 p.m. or 1 p.m. tomorrow. 1 p.m. tomorrow. I have to start an hour late tomorrow. An hour late tomorrow. Okay? All right. So I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And I'll see you all later. Take care.